Hi, good day. This is Miss LM and we're back again with another math video, and today we're going to talk about triangle congruence postulate. So, in this lesson, we are going to have three parts, okay? So, tatlong parts po ulit tayo. The first one is that we're going to learn the three triangle congruence postulates, followed by the proving triangles using the postulates, and the third one is solving parts of the triangles according to the congruence postulate. So, in this video, we're going to learn first the three triangle congruence postulates. Yung mga natutunan natin from the previous videos, especially the included sides and included angles, will be used here on our topic. So, bakit nga ba kailangan nating matutunan itong three triangle congruence postulates? Dahil po, based from our previous lessons or previous videos, napag-aralan natin yung 6 corresponding parts of the triangle. We have the 3 angles and then the 3 sides. Do we really need those 6 parts just to say that the 2 triangles are congruent? Kailangan ba natin lahat mahanap yung 6 na parts na yun para lang masabi natin na yung triangles ay congruent? So, ang sagot po dun is no. In this lesson, matututunan natin kung alin nga ba lamang ang kailangan nating mahanap para masabi natin na yung dalawang triangles ay congruent. So, what are the 3 triangle congruence postulates? Okay, so in this lesson, meron tayong 3 objectives. The first one is to name the included angle and the included side of the given figure. So this is just a recall of our previous lesson. And then the second objective is to identify the different triangle congruence postulate. And then the third one is to test for triangle congruence using the appropriate postulates such as SAS, the ASA, or the SSS congruence. Okay, so now let's begin our lesson for today. Okay, number 1, we have to name the included angle and the included side of the given figure. So, given the figure below, answer the following questions. Again, this is just a recap of what we have learned from our previous video about the included angle and the included side. So, here we have this triangle BOX, and the first question is, if angle B is the included angle, what are the 2 sides? So, angle B is the included angle of blank and blank. Alin daw po yung sides na nakapagpa-include kay angle B? So, this is angle B, and then we have this side BO, and side BX. Okay? XB or OB. So, pwede po yan. Since wala pa naman tayong kina-compare na other triangle. Number 2, blank is the included angle of side XO and side BO. So, kapag ganitong may symbol, even though wala tayong figure, again, kaya na rin po nating malaman kung alin yung ating included angle. So, just look at common vertex. Alin po ang ating common vertex dito? We have O. Next, side BX is included side of blank and blank. So, side BX daw po is the included side of what? 2 angles. So, ito po yung side BX. Ano yung angles na nasa gilid niya? So, we have angle B and angle X. Another question, blank is the included side of angle X and angle O. Alin naman daw po ang included side kapag kinuha natin si angle O at si angle X? Alin yung nasa gitna niya? So, we have side XO. Then, the last one, if we have side BO, alin daw po yung dalawang angle na nakapagpa-include sa kanya? We have angle B and angle O. Okay. So, again, these included angles and included sides are prerequisite to what we're going to learn on our lesson today. Okay. So, let's proceed to our second objective. So, we have here, identify the different triangle congruence postulates. So, ano nga ba pag sinabing congruent triangles? Congruent triangles have congruent sides and congruent angles. So, this means na kailangan yung measurements ng sides ng ating first triangle ay katulad niya lahat ng measurements din dun sa ating second triangle. Then, also yung angles, kailangan din po yung measurement from the first triangle ay katulad din po ng mga measurements na nasa second triangle. And ito po ay atin na napag-aralan dito sa ating corresponding parts. The parts of congruent triangles that match are called corresponding parts. Napag-aralan na natin to before sa ating lesson about CP, CTC, or the corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. So, from that lesson, natutunan natin na yung kamatch nitong ating first triangle na corresponding angles, kailangan equal sila ng measurement. So, gumamit tayo ng mga markings para makita kung alin nga ba yung equal yung measurements, same as dun sa sides. Now, ano-ano po yung ating triangle congruence postulates na makakatulong sa atin na hindi na hanapin pa yung 6 na corresponding parts ng dalawang triangle. So, the first one is the SAS Congruence Postulates. Ano nga ba ang ibig sabihin ng SAS? So, ito daw po yung 2 sides and an included angle. angle. So, SAS Congruence Postulate. If two sides and the included angle of one triangle are congruent to the corresponding two sides and the included angle of the other triangle, then the two triangles are congruent. So, ang una nating congruence postulate ay ang SAS. So, dito daw po, kailangan natin ng dalawang sides at included angle na kakoresponding at kakongruent dun sa ating pangalawang triangle. So, nahati na. Instead na 6 parts, ngayon, 3 na lang yung kailangan nating hanapin. The two sides and the included angle. So, let's have our first example. So, we have here triangle ABC and triangle RQP. What are the two sides from our first triangle? So, we have side AB and then side BC. Then, for the included angles, obviously naman, kasama talaga siya yung napagigitnaan ng dalawang sides. So, that's angle B. Then, here, for our second triangle, the two sides are side RQ and side QP. Okay? And then, the included angle po, yung napagigitnaan nila, that's angle Q. So, kapag meron tayong ganito, again, may marking, sila daw yung congruent, side AB and side RQ, and then we have side BC and side QP. So, meron na tayong two corresponding congruent sides, and then we have the included angle, angle B, congruent to angle Q. So, we have here SAS Congruence Postulate. Okay? The postulate that has been used is the SAS Congruence Postulate. Now, for the congruent statement, so ang ibig sabihin lang po nito ay ano yung dalawang congruent triangles natin. So, kailangan po pag congruence statement ang hinihingi, we have to name the two triangles that are congruent. So, malinaw po dapat na yung corresponding congruent parts pa rin po yung pagkakapangalan natin do sa two triangles. So, if we have triangle ABC, ang atin pong second triangle ay ang triangle RQP. Na kapag pinalitan natin yung name ni ABC, yung RQP po ay mapapalitan din. Okay? So, that's the first example for SAS. Another example. So, we have these two triangles, DEF and then GFH. So, they share a common vertex here. Ayan, yung point F natin. And as you can see, from the first triangle, meron tayong side DF and side EF at ang kanyang included angle ay angle F. So, yun yung napagigitnaan. Then, meron siyang kakongruent at kakoresponding sa ating second triangle, which are side GH and side FH. Okay? FH and GH. Then, the included angle here is angle H. Now, what are those congruent and corresponding parts? So, from the first triangle, if we have side EF, ang kanyang kakongruent ay si side FH. And then, we have FD. So, FD. Dito po sa ating second triangle, we have HG. Then, for the included angles that are corresponding and that are congruent, we have angle F and angle H. So, since meron tayong SAS Congruence Postulate, matatawag natin congruent itong ating dalawang triangles. No need na nahanapin pa yung ibang corresponding parts kasi we're going to base it on our Congruence Postulate, which is the SAS Congruence Postulate. And kapag hiningi po ulit si congruent statement, all we have to do is to name the two congruent triangles. So, if we have triangle DEF, so DEF, the second triangle must be named as GFH. So, triangle DEF is congruent to triangle GFH. So, that's SAS Congruence Postulate. So, isa sa mga congruence postulate among triangle. Now, let's have the second congruence postulate about triangle. So, we have here the ASA Congruence Postulate. So, ano kaya ang ibig sabihin ng ASA? So, dito daw po, we have this statement. If two angles and the included side of one triangle are congruent to the corresponding two angles and the included side of the other triangle, then the two triangles are congruent. So, in short, ang kailangan nating hanapin ay ang two angles and included side of the first triangle that are congruent and corresponding dun sa ating pangalawang triangle. So, we have this example here. So, triangle JKL and triangle ONM. There are two angles here na may mark and then the included side. So, the two angles are angle J and angle K. Then, their included side is side JK. For the second triangle, we have angle O and angle N. Then, the included side is side ON. Now, we have to look for the corresponding congruent parts of these two triangles. So, we have the angles, angle J and angle O, angle K and angle N, and their included sides. Again, kailangan maayos yung pagkakapangalan natin. Side JK, ayan, J, ito yung may markings dun sa angle niya, ito yung K. So, sa second triangle natin, ganun din yung hanapin, angle O, and then angle N. Pag pinagdugtong natin yung vertices niya, we have side ON. So, here are the three corresponding congruent parts of these two triangles. And these two triangles are congruent by ASA Congruence Postulate. So, the congruence statement now is, so ano yung dalawang triangles natin? We have triangle JKL and triangle ONM. JKL and then ONM. Pag pinagpalit natin yung position nitong ating name for the first triangle, magpapalit din po yung position ng name ng ating second triangle. Let's have another example. Triangle STU and triangle VUW. So, what are the two angles given from our first triangle? We have angle S and angle U. The included side is side SU. Then, we have these two angles, angle V and angle W. The included side is side VW. Now, again, they are congruent na kasi hindi na naman natin kailangan hanapin din po yung tatlo pang na iiwan na parts. And they are congruent by ASA Congruence Postulate. Now, what are the three corresponding congruent parts of these triangles? We have angle S, congruent siya kay angle V, angle U, congruent siya kay angle W, and then side SU, congruent siya kay side VW. Then, for the congruence statement, so we have here triangle STU congruent to triangle VWU. So, accepted na po ito as congruent triangles because pasok siya sa ating postulate, which is the angle side angle. Again, angle side angle congruence postulate. So, that's what ASA means. Dun sa SAS, side angle side. Okay? Now, let's have the last congruence postulate for the triangle. The SSS Congruence Postulate. So, kung kanina sa SAS natin is side angle side at sa ASA natin ay angle side angle. So, dito naman, obviously, S stands for side. So, we have side, side, side congruence postulate. So, ano ang nilalaman ng congruence postulate na ito? Sabi dito, if three sides of one triangle are congruent to the corresponding three sides of the other triangle, then the two triangles are congruent. So, we have to look for the three corresponding congruent sides of the two triangles. So, first example here, we have triangle JEO and triangle NJK. So, from the first triangle, the three sides are side JE, side EO, and side OJ. So, since na-list down na natin tong ating sides from the first triangle, make sure din po sa pag-list down natin ng sides ng second triangle is corresponding na dito sa sides ng ating first triangle. Okay? So, for JE, ito yung JE. Dito po, ang kakoresponding niya ay si side NJ. Then, we have side EO. Ang kakoresponding niya, ayan si EO, ay si JK. Dito naman, si OJ, O to J, ang corresponding niya ay si KN. So, since corresponding naman na yung pagkaka-list down itong ating sides, we can also name the congruent sides. So, side JE, congruent siya kay NJ, si EO, congruent siya kay JK, at saka si OJ, congruent naman kay KN. The next one is the congruence statement. Okay? So, here, ano nga ba ang ating congruence statement? Triangle JEO is congruent to triangle NJK. Okay? So, that's for our first example para sa ating SSS Congruence Postulate. Another one, we have this triangle JIM and triangle JNM. So, tingnan natin mabuti. Kung mapapansin po natin, dalawa lang sides sa ating first triangle ang may markings at ganoon din sa ating second triangle. So, bakit kaya ganoon? Kasi po, itong side na nasa gitna is common na dun sa ating first triangle at dun sa ating second triangle. So, ibig sabihin, iisa siya. Automatically, even though wala siyang markings, consider natin to as congruent. So, kapag may nakita kayong ganito na they share a common side, automatically, yun na yung unang part na congruent natin. So, si side JM. Ngayon, congruent ba siya kay side JM then or side MJ? Yun po yung titingnan natin. So, we have the sides of the first triangle, side JI, ito siya, JI, side IM, and then side MJ. Now, kung titingnan natin yung ating second triangle, na-flip po siya. So, ibig sabihin, ma-flip din po yung MJ natin. So, for the second triangle, alin ang corresponding ni JI at alin ang congruent ni JI? So, that is MN. Alin ang congruent ni IM? That's NJ, okay? And then, for side that are common for the two triangles, yun nga lang kasi na-flip nga, kaya po yung MJ instead na MJ, that will be JM. Okay? So, these are the corresponding congruent sides of the two triangle. Now, ilista natin siya as congruent. So, we have side JI congruent to side MN, side IM congruent to side NJ, and side MJ congruent to side JM. Okay? Now, for the congruence statement, so kapag hiningian tayo nito, ang ibibigay po natin ay ang pangalan ng dalawang congruent triangles. And they are triangle JIM congruent to triangle MNJ. MNJ at saka JIM. So, tingnan nyo pong maigi. Corresponding naman po yung parts. JI, corresponding kay MN. IM, ayan, IM, corresponding siya kay NJ. Si MJ, corresponding siya kay JM. Okay. So, again, kapag meron tayong common na side, we have to look at it as congruent parts. Okay? So, now, let's proceed to our third and last objective for today. So, we have to test for triangle congruence using the appropriate postulate such as SAS. Again, anong ibig sabihin ng SAS? That is side angle side. The ASA, we have angle side angle. And then the last one is the SSS or the side congruence. So, let's have this activity. So, let's try. Tell whether the following triangles are congruent or not. If congruent, name its congruence postulate. So, for item number 1, let's look for the triangle. So, wala siyang name. Hindi natin mapapangalanan yung congruent sides or congruent angles. Pero, makikita natin siya using the markings. So, here we have these sides. And then, anong tawag natin sa angle na to? This is the included angle. So, ganun din dito sa ating second triangle, we have two sides and included angle. So, kapag ganito yung markings, automatically, this is congruent. Tatanggapin natin siya as congruent. And because, ano po yung postulate, kaya siya naging congruent, meron tayong tinatawag na SAS Congruence Postulate. Okay? For number 2, we have two angles and then this side. Included ba yung side? Kasi alam naman natin na tatlo lang yung ating initial na congruence postulate na pinag-aralan. The SAS, the ASA, and then the SSS. So here we have two angles and included side. Also dito, two angles and included side. So again, number 2 is congruent. These two triangles are congruent. And then the postulate is that we have the ASA Congruence Postulate. Then number 3, we have these two triangles. So we have this side and then this angle. And then the third side, or we have here this side. Kaya lang, included side ba siya? Or does it make the angle as included angle? So, kung mapapansin nyo po, wala naman tayong ganitong congruence postulate. So, for number 3, we cannot consider this as congruent. So, wala tayong mailalagay na congruence postulate kasi yung markings niya po ay hindi pasok dun sa ating congruence postulate. For number 4, so, we have this side, and side. So, ganun din dito. So, number 4 is congruent. Okay? These two triangles are congruent by what congruence postulate? That is the SSS Congruence Postulate. Then the last item, we have this. Ayan. Angles, angles, angles. Meron po ba tayong AAA Congruence Postulate? Syempre, wala po. Now, mapapaisip kayo, bakit po hindi accepted yung AAA? Yung SSS naman po accepted. Class, kasi hindi porke meron tayong angles that are congruent, ibig sabihin ay equal na rin yung kanilang sides. Kasi possible po na similar lang sila. May mas maliit, may mas malaking triangle, pero yung angles po na given from the first triangle ay congruent sa ating second triangle. Yung angles lang. Pero yung sides po, it could be different from the first to the second triangle. So, for number 5, these two triangles are considered not congruent. Okay? Now, let's have this activity. I want you to write your answer on the comment section and then let's see kung tatama nga ba kayo sa inyong mga sagot. Okay? So, here we have to state the postulate that will justify the triangle congruence and then write the congruence statement of the two triangles. Analyze the figure, write the postulate, and then the congruence statement. Item number 1. Item number 2. Item number 3. Item number 4. And item number 5. Okay, so please write your answers on the comment section and then let's see kung tama ang inyong mga sagot for each item. And that's all for this video. I hope you learned something about the triangle congruence postulates. Again, meron po tayong 3 different triangle congruence postulate and they are the SAS or the side angle side. Then we have the ASA, the angle side angle, and then the last one is the side 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 or SSS Congruence Postulate. Okay, so that's the first part of this lesson. Mag-like na kayo, i-subscribe nyo rin po itong ating channel para sa mga susunod pang videos, lalong-lalo na dahil meron pa tayong second and third part for this topic. So, yun lamang po. Keep safe everyone. God bless. Bye-bye!